Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome back to Tarot Magpie. I hope you are doing good. Today you are joining me for something of an art with me, art vlog, tarot playtime situation. So I've launched right in and what I'm working with today is the Tarot Activity Book by Dreya Blume, and I have chosen the tarot activity called The Detail, in which the objective is to use a detail from a tarot card as a prompt for artwork. So I chose, as you saw just then, the Queen of Swords from the Terra Volatile, partly because the Terra Volatile is my fave deck, partly because the Queen of Swords is the me card, it's the Libra card, and the detail that I've chosen that you will shortly see me working on. At the moment I am in my Frogs and Toads altered book, which is my favourite thing in the world. So that's what I'm going to be working in as my sketchbook. But the detail that I've chosen is the positioning of her hands. What really drew me to this was the guidebook for this deck and the part in the description of the Queen of Swords that says, "Unlike most of the cards, we opted to turn her sword downwards as a symbol of her receptive essence, guiding the mental energy to manifest itself in the material realm. The position of her hands, like the magician, drive the mental energy or inspiration from her left hand, her logical and intellectual side, into the world, the right side, using the sword also as a creative tool." So that's what I was going with, and as you can see, I decided to choose that detail and I'm putting it into the artwork by outlining my own hands. So I've got the left hand pointing up, the right hand pointing down, and I'm going to be collaging, sticking stuff in, doodling, all that good stuff. This is my preferred form of making art. I say art. This piece is okay, it's art in the sense that it's created, but it's kind of a bit of fun. This is not supposed to be like a serious art piece. Anyhow, one of the first sources that I reached for is this anatomy colouring book that I've got. I think it goes well with the theme of the Terra Volatile. If you've been around here on this channel for a minute, you'll know that I'm kind of into the... It's not even spooky or gruesome, just the skeletal stuff is fun. I've done 2 whole degrees in archaeology and specifically skeletal stuff, so this is something I really just enjoy, and I like anatomical drawings. I think they're really cool. So I'm going in, I'm grabbing some of the brain anatomy drawings, and that's going to be part of what is on the left side, the left hand being that mental energy, the logical and intellectual side. So at the moment, I'm going through various magazines. I think I've got my anatomy textbook, colouring book rather. This is Aesthetica magazine. And then I think I've also got, the name escapes me, but it'll pop up in a minute, but it's a art magazine as well, which are all great art journal scrapbooking fodder. So I really like these pieces here where it's a photograph, but the face and particularly the eyes have been smeared over with paint. Smeared over is maybe the wrong word. There's a single brushstroke of paint over the face, and this was really reminding me of Justice, which, not in the Rider-Waite-Smith, but a lot of decks have Justice as being blindfolded. And there's also the Queen of Swords in general is quite justicey. They're both Libra cards, but also the guidebook for the Terra Volatile does reference the card of justice and the idea of truth being really important. And I thought that definitely seemed more like the logical, mental left-hand side. So that's also going in there. I'm cutting out bits of sky because Libra is, or rather the swords are air signs. So for like background bits, I went with lots of sky. For this activity, I'm definitely sticking with the tarot theming, because I think it's fun to do tarot art. I found this is a cool like eye imagery, and I don't know, tarot. The swords obviously are like the logical mental suit, but I think eyes kind of make sense. And in this piece that I've made, I think this went on the right hand side because it's the idea of like manifesting it in the world. And I don't know, you look out, there wasn't much thought behind this. This other piece was really cool. There was this series of paintings, and again, it's similar to the one with the brushstroke across the eyes, the idea that like the eyes are kind of blanked out also reminded me a little bit of Justice. So in that one, I'm really just grabbing all kinds of stuff and hoping for the best at this point. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, painting with air. This was fun. So I just thought this was so perfect for the idea of, putting that inspiration into the world. And when the guidebook referenced using the sword as a creative tool and then painting with air and the swords being the air suit, like it just seemed too perfect. So I've ripped this out. This ended up also in there, both the title and the artwork. It's so much fun when things come together like this. Like I hadn't gone through my material before I picked my card or before I kind of started thinking about where it was going to go in terms of like what I was going to put. Like I knew I was going to do collage stuff, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll do the outlines of my hands, and then the left side will be trying to visualize that like logical mental side, and then the right hand being that like putting it into the world and like manifesting it in the material realm. And then I came across some really cool stuff, so it worked out really nicely, at least in theory. I mean, be gentle with me because I know this is not the most spectacular artwork in the world, but I liked the process. So we've jumped ahead a little bit. Here. I've started to stick stuff in. You can see I've got that painting with air on the right side, manifesting it in the world. I've got the image, which I kind of, like I say, I don't love how the right side of the page turned out because you can't really tell that it's a painting. It just looks like a dingy photo. And, I tried to make it better. I ended up making it worse. It's a whole thing. But so what I am trying to do is put the imagery that I think represents the left versus right, the mental intellectual versus the manifesting in the world. Those are going inside the hand outlines. So like there's the brains, God, that sounds a bit gruesome, doesn't it? But we've got the like anatomical drawings, we've got the little portraits with the eyes kind of covered or not visible, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like detailed in a way. And then around the outside of the hands, I'm going to be sticking down the like sky piece that I cut out earlier. I think there's some birds coming up. I did this over several sessions and several days, so not all of it wound up being recorded, but you get the gist. And if I recorded all of it, we would truly be here for a good couple hours, which I think is a little bit excessive. I certainly can't talk for that long. Well, I could talk for that long, but you know what I mean. Nobody would want to hear it. So I'm doing my collage. A little bit later on, I come in with some color. I've got some of the like water-soluble Neocolor crayons. I've got some Posca pens. I've got some stickers. I chuck some glitter on there. Like, I try to trust the process, and more is more my way to a piece that I'm happy with, which kind of works and kind of very much doesn't, but you'll see. And I think I will leave you. I will let the footage roll and I'll put some music over the top, and then I will catch up with you again at the end of the video and kind of wrap it all up. So do enjoy. Let me know what you think, and you'll hear from me in a few minutes.
Alright, hello everybody. I thought I would just pop in, not exactly live because it's a pre-recorded video, but not in a voiceover, and just wrap this video up and finish it out quickly. So this is my final piece. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not in love with it, but I do think it's kind of cool. I really like this side, and I like some of the techniques that I did. But most importantly, I really like the exercise. So the exercise was, once again, from the Tarot activity book by Dreya Blume. I did this activity called the detail, and the detail that I chose was the positioning of her hands, which in the guidebook talked about mirroring the magician. So that's what I had here. And yeah. Like I say, I don't love the final piece, but it's not about the final piece. It's about the process, and the process was really fun. This is definitely a technique that I'm going to use again going forward in this book, in other books. Just picking a card, pulling a detail, and then coming up with something based on that. This spread I was kind of keeping with the Queen of Swords tarot theme, but you don't have to do anything. It's entirely creative and up to you, but I won't necessarily always stick to the tarot theming, but in this one it was fun because it's Queen of Swords, it's my girl, and that's about it. So I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed this style of video. This was a little bit different from me. Fair warning, I say fair warning right at the end of the video, but I have not yet recorded any of the voiceover for this. I haven't really done any of the editing, so I'm not entirely sure how this is going to have turned out, but if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me. Let me know if you'd like to see something like this again, either like another art process video or playing around with the tarot activity book again, or just generally various ways I play around with tarot. Yeah, let me know. I would love to hear from you, hear what you'd like to see, and I will let you go. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me. Give me a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.